Alright guys, trying to show you the little Gatka video. I hope my feet are visible. Just very briefly, I'm traveling in Germany, so I don't have any of my stuff, but hazel sticks will do it. Just wanted to start with the basic footwork. It's the sidestep motion, and what it does is you sidestep and then you do a hop that kind of aligns you back towards the front. And the way they do it is they snap their lower leg kind of to the butt and create with that a certain energy that makes this really easy. And it can literally be very subtle to a point, or it can be very exaggerated or cover much more space depending on what you want. And that is kind of the bread and butter of Gatka footwork. And it's called Pantra, and you can do it with your hands. You add hands to it. This basically just follows what you will do with a stick or sword. And so you kind of pull it over your head, and that's kind of the strike. This one here kind of represents the shield, or like a parry kind of position. And that's hand Pantra. Very meditative. You can do it for hours on end. Funny as it is, this stepping move, this Pantra, is very energy saving. You can do this for a long time, even though it's, it's stepping and hopping and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so with a sword, basically the move is like this. You parry while you sidestep, then you turn it and you cut. Then the next thing is you sidestep, you pull the weapon up. It's a kind of a parry, and then you cut from down below. So it's kind of this kind of motion. And you can add two swords, do this with two swords. And then it actually makes the most sense. And you can do this, you don't have to hop. Technically that move works, just changing positions. Front flick. Front flick is the lying 8. So it's basically like you cut, you cut, you cut, you cut. Extremely basic, but you can angle it so you can actually change it to a lot of things that you can do with two sticks, two swords. There's a certain rhythm to it, but you can always break out of it and return back into it, depending on what you want to do. Again, I think that's mostly these kind of motions. The motion itself is very powerful, but you would never do a front flick while you fight. I mean, eventually somebody would find the hole, kind of the opening, and just go in and stab it or cut your arm. So you break these things up, obviously. Another move is the Maroga. You basically, that's a difficult move to describe. This is the beat move, but you hug basically you do an 8, but you hug your body with it. So you can see it provides a lot of protection when you parry, like as a parry move. And this has been explained to me that it's actually a defensive move. You do this when you fight more than one enemy. And in sparring, I have used this, and it's really great to kind of cover your back while you are getting out of there. You can do this with two sticks, and that makes it actually really fun and really great. There is something called a double Maroga that kind of does this move, but then you basically add one little circle into it. And I think it's mostly to practice coordination for the next steps, but it has some kind of an interesting kind of side advantage where you can actually then just really change direction and pull out kind of a strike out of this, even though you do that. This is a really nice beat. Like you can beat a blade away, and basically with the stoppage or like the resistance of the blade that you're beating away, you're basically in place. That makes it kind of awesome, because it looks like nothing and suddenly you come out of there. But that's not unique to Gatka, I would presume or say. Yeah, so that's kind of these things. Then there's the jangi. I can't show that here really well, but basically it's a jump, and you can do it backwards and forwards. The idea is not to strike into it like at a certain place. It's not like that if I'm jumping forward I have to hit exactly there. but you can basically choose where the cut comes. And once you practice that quite a bit, you can do that and you feel like you have a lot of time to make the decision. But as I said, the moment somebody knows that you could do this jump and they can see kind of the preparation of it, they'll just pick you up from the air or double you at least out really well. But it usually works once and somebody doesn't know it. And you can make like really spacious jumps if you want to do more like sideways jumps. But I think my opinion is that actually the advantage is you create a height change that the other one doesn't catch quick enough and kind of gets vulnerable because of it. All these moves, that's pretty much it. I mean, you have these cheer moves and so on, but the whole idea, this is pretty much all the moves. The whole idea, I think, is to the combinations of these. How do you combine the Maroga with the front flick? How do you do that? And those things, those connecting points, they are the ones that make Gatka really powerful, and that's how you see when they kind of do the Gatka dance. Once you're there, you realize that it's not like the full move that's necessary, but it's the perfect motion of this, because I can go from this to this. So that's more like a move where you pull it behind your head, the Maroga. Sometimes with double weapon you can do Maroga with one side and the front flick with the other. So you do elements of it, maybe 1/8 of a front flick, then 3/8 of that, and so on. And that creates the gigantic variety of it, even though the basic moves are so freaking simple. And that's what I love about it. In the great scheme of things, I think the Gatka I know is kind of farmer's Gatka. I think it's kind of the common baseline, what everybody got taught. They have an entire group they called Nihangs. They have these kind of secret weapon skills and techniques and so on. I think that is at times a little exaggerated, but of course there's more to it. There are a myriad of weapons, but this is kind of the baseline stuff, and honestly I've been doing really great just with that. So I don't know, I love it. Thanks, hope that helped.